The chair cracked like a gunshot. Amara Williams dropped hard onto the polished floor, and the entire banquet hall gasped. A plate of jollof rice flew from her hand. Red sauce splashed across her cream-colored dress.
Mommy,
One of the
please
broken
don't
chair
cry.
legs rolled
You are
beneath the
still
stage,
beautiful to
while the
me.
band stopped in the middle of a song. For 1 second, nobody moved. Then Daniel laughed. It was not a nervous laugh. It was loud, sharp, and cruel. "I told you people," he shouted, pointing at his wife. "That chair was built for human beings, not a delivery truck." A few guests laughed because Daniel was laughing. Others lowered their eyes. Several phones rose into the air. Amara's palms burned against the floor. Pain shot through her hip, but humiliation hurt worse. She looked up at the man she had loved for 14 years, waiting for him to stop, waiting for the smallest sign that he regretted his words. Daniel only shook his head. "Look at what you've done," he said. "You cannot enter one room without embarrassing me." Their 10-year-old daughter, Nia, pushed through the crowd. "Move," she cried. "Please move." She dropped beside her mother and tried to cover the torn side of Amara's dress with her little jacket. "Mommy, don't listen to them." That should have softened Daniel. Instead, he grabbed Nia's arm and pulled her back. "Stop encouraging her," he snapped. "Your mother needs truth, not pity." The room went silent again. Amara tried to stand, but her ankle folded beneath her. She nearly fell a second time. An elderly waiter rushed forward, yet Daniel blocked him with one hand. "Leave her," he said. "Maybe this is the shock she needs." Amara stared at him in disbelief. Then she noticed something near her fingers. Fresh sawdust. Not old dust. Not splinters from the fall. A clean pile of pale wood lay beneath the broken seat. One support beam had been cut almost all the way through. The chair had not broken because of her weight. Someone had prepared it to collapse. Before she could speak, Daniel climbed onto the stage and took the microphone. "Since everyone is already watching," he said, "I might as well say what I came here to say." Amara's heartbeat slowed. Daniel reached into his jacket and pulled out a folded paper. "I have spent years carrying this marriage alone," he announced. "Tonight, I am done carrying dead weight." A woman near the front covered her mouth. Someone whispered Amara's name. Daniel held up the paper. "Divorce papers." The crowd exploded into murmurs. Nia suddenly leaned close to her mother's ear. Her voice shook. "Mommy," she whispered. "Daddy knew the chair would break." Amara turned toward her. "What?" "I heard him talking to Uncle Victor behind the kitchen. Daddy said, 'Make sure she sits there. After tonight, she will have nowhere left to hide.'" Across the hall, Daniel's brother Victor was quietly kicking the broken chair leg beneath a table, and when Amara looked at him, he smiled. 3 months before the chair broke, Amara woke before sunrise to bake 200 meat pies. The house was still dark. Her knees ached as she stood at the kitchen counter, rolling dough with one hand and packing Nia's lunch with the other. By 6 o'clock, the sweet smell of butter filled every room. Years earlier, that smell had saved Daniel. When his first restaurant failed, it was Amara who sold her late mother's gold necklace to pay the workers. It was her meat pie recipe that brought customers back. It was her idea to deliver food to offices. Daniel became the face of the company, but Amara had been its hands, its heart, and its hidden engine. Now the business had 3 branches, and Amara's name appeared nowhere. That morning, Daniel entered the kitchen wearing an expensive suit. He glanced at the trays without saying good morning. "You are still coming to the foundation banquet next month, right?" he asked. Amara smiled carefully. "You said it was for company executives." "It is. You are my wife." The word sounded correct, but his eyes were cold. "I need a new dress," she said. "The blue one doesn't fit anymore." Daniel sighed as though her body were a bill he had been forced to pay. "Then eat less before the banquet." Nia, sitting at the table, froze with her spoon halfway to her mouth. Amara swallowed the pain and kept packing the pies. Daniel's phone rang. He stepped into the hallway, but his voice carried back. "No, doctor, she does not know yet," he whispered. "And she cannot know until after the banquet." Amara stopped rolling the dough. Daniel returned seconds later. When he saw her watching him, he slipped the phone into his pocket. "Who was that?" "Business." "You called him doctor." His jaw tightened. Since when do you investigate my calls? He grabbed his briefcase and left. Later that afternoon, Amara delivered the pies to the main restaurant. She expected to enter through the front, but a security guard stopped her. Staff entrance is behind the building. Ma'am, she stared at him. I am Mrs. Williams. The guard looked embarrassed. Mr. Williams gave new instructions. Inside, Amara found a glossy wall displaying the company's history. Daniel's photograph stood in the center beneath the words, "Self-made visionary." There was no picture of Amara, no mention of her recipes, no mention of the necklace she sold. Victor appeared behind her, clapping slowly. "Beautiful, isn't it?" he said. Amara turned. "Where is my name?" Victor smiled. "History belongs to the person who knows how to tell it." Before she could answer, a young accountant named Lena hurried past and slipped a small envelope into Amara's handbag. "Do not open that here," Lena whispered. That night, after Daniel fell asleep, Amara locked herself in the bathroom and opened it. Inside were copies of company transfers totaling $280,000. Every payment had gone to a private medical center. At the bottom of the last page, someone had written, "Ask Daniel who the patient is." Amara covered her mouth. From the bedroom, Daniel suddenly called her name. Not gently. "Amara," he said. "Open this door." Amara folded the papers and hid them inside the lining of her robe. When she opened the bathroom door, Daniel stood inches away. His eyes moved from her face to the envelope on the sink. "What are you doing in there?" "Using the bathroom. For 20 minutes. Before she could move, he stepped past her and searched the counter. He opened drawers, lifted towels, and checked the wastebasket. Amara watched him with a fear she had never felt before. Daniel had become impatient and insulting over the years, but this was different. He looked frightened. "What are you looking for?" she asked. He turned sharply. "Did anyone speak to you at the restaurant?" Amara forced herself to breathe normally. "No." Daniel stared at her for several seconds, then smiled too quickly. "Good." He kissed her forehead and walked away. The next morning, Amara drove to the private medical center, named on the transfers. She told herself the truth could be simple. Perhaps Daniel was paying for an employee's surgery. Perhaps Victor was sick. Perhaps there was an explanation that would make her ashamed for doubting him. At reception, she placed Daniel's business card on the desk. "I am his wife," she said. "I need to know who these payments are for." The receptionist's expression changed. "I'm sorry, patient information is private." "So there is a patient." "I did not say that." A door opened behind the desk. A thin teenage boy stepped into the hallway, wearing a gray hooded sweater. He had Daniel's eyes. Amara's breath caught. The boy looked at her, then at the receptionist. "Is my father here?" The receptionist quickly guided him away, but the damage was done. Amara stumbled outside into heavy rain. She reached her car before her knees gave way. For years, she had blamed herself for Daniel's distance. She had believed his insults. She had thought her weight had made her unworthy of love. Now another possibility tore through her. Daniel might have another family. She was still crying when someone knocked on her window. It was Lena, the accountant. "Drive," Lena said urgently. "Victor followed you." Amara unlocked the door. Lena jumped inside, and Amara pulled away from the curb, just as Victor's black SUV turned into the parking lot. "Who is that boy?" Amara demanded. "I don't know," Lena said. "But the medical payments are not the worst thing." She opened her bag and removed a flash drive. "Victor has been moving money through your name. Loans, contracts, unpaid taxes. If the company collapses, the police will come for you first." Amara nearly missed a red light. "My name is not even on the company wall. It is on every dangerous document." A horn blasted behind them. Amara gripped the steering wheel. "Does Daniel know?" Lena looked toward the side mirror. "I cannot tell anymore which brother is protecting you and which one is destroying you." Victor's SUV appeared behind them, moving fast. Lena pressed the flash drive into Amara's hand. "Whatever happens, do not let Daniel take you to that banquet." A second later, Victor's vehicle struck the back of their car. Amara screamed as the car spun across the wet road. When it stopped, Lena was bleeding from her forehead. Victor stepped out of his SUV and walked toward them through the rain. He was holding Amara's missing phone. These sequences keep the apparent betrayal uncertain. Daniel may be involved, Victor may be framing both of them, and the teenage boy's true identity remains unresolved. Victor walked toward the car slowly, rain pouring from his hair and jacket. Amara tried to open her door, but the frame had bent inward. Lena groaned beside her, blood running down her cheek. "Stay away from us," Amara shouted. Victor held up her phone. "You left this at the clinic. You followed me." "Yes." "Why?" Before he could answer, smoke rose from beneath the hood. Victor's expression changed. "Get out of the car." Amara pulled at the handle again. It would not move. "Amara, get out now." A small flame appeared near the front tire. Victor dropped the phone and ran to Lena's side. He slammed his shoulder against the passenger door, but it did not open. "Move back," he yelled. He kicked the window once, twice. On the third kick, the glass shattered. Victor reached through, unlocked the door, and dragged Lena into the rain. Then he climbed halfway into the car and pulled Amara across the seats. The moment they reached the roadside, the engine burst into flames. Amara stared at the burning car. Victor had struck them, but he had also saved their lives. Lena grabbed Amara's hand. "The flash drive," she whispered. Amara looked down. It was gone. Victor knelt beside them. "What flash drive?" Lena's face turned pale. "You know exactly what I mean." Victor's eyes hardened. "You have no idea what you stole." "Stole?" Amara said, "Those documents were in my name." Victor looked at her, then toward the burning vehicle. "Daniel should have told you years ago." "Told me what?" Sirens sounded in the distance. Victor stood. "Ask him why your signature is on the original ownership papers." Amara froze. "What ownership papers?" Victor looked almost sorry for her. "The company was never Daniel's, Amara." Before she could demand more, Lena grabbed Victor's trouser leg. "Tell her about the boy." Victor looked down at her. For the first time, genuine fear crossed his face. "Be quiet." "The boy at the clinic," Amara said. "Who is he?" Victor turned away. Amara pushed herself to her feet, despite the pain in her ankle. "Is he Daniel's son?" Victor remained silent. That silence felt like an answer. Amara slapped him. The sound cut through the rain. "You watched me serve that man for 14 years while he had another child." Victor touched his cheek. "You think you know what happened because a boy has Daniel's eyes? Then tell me." Victor looked toward the approaching ambulance. "That boy is the reason Daniel married you." Amara stopped breathing. Lena began crying. Victor stepped closer and lowered his voice. "Daniel did not meet you by accident. He knew who you were before your first date." The paramedics rushed toward them. Amara tried to hold on to Victor, but her knees weakened. As they lifted her onto a stretcher, Victor leaned near her ear. "Ask your husband what happened at St. Matthew's Hospital 14 years ago." Then he walked away through the rain. Amara woke in a hospital room with Daniel sitting beside her. His hand was wrapped around hers. To anyone passing the doorway, he looked like a worried husband. The moment Amara opened her eyes, his grip tightened. "What did Lena give you?" "Not are you hurt?" "Not thank God you survived." Amara slowly pulled her hand away. "Where is Nia?" "With my mother. I want to speak to her." "After you answer me." Daniel stood and closed the door. "Lena stole confidential records. Victor says she gave you a flash drive. Victor hit our car. He lost control in the rain. He followed us." Daniel rubbed his forehead. "Amara, you do not understand what you are involved in." "Then help me understand." She forced herself upright. "Who is the boy at the clinic?" Daniel's face became still. For several seconds, the machines beside Amara's bed were the only sound in the room. Then Daniel walked to the window. "His name is Jonah." "Is he your son?" Daniel did not answer. Amara felt something inside her collapse. "How old is he?" 15. "We have been married 14 years. "I know." Amara threw the water cup from her bedside table. It struck the wall and burst open. "You brought me into a marriage while another woman was carrying your child?" Daniel turned. "It is not what you think. That is what every guilty man says." A nurse opened the door, but Daniel told her everything was fine. After she left, Amara lowered her voice. Victor said you knew me before we met. Daniel's anger disappeared. He looked frightened. What else did he tell you? St. Matthew's Hospital. Daniel sat down. Amara had never seen him look so defeated. 14 years earlier, before she met Daniel, Amara had given birth to a baby boy. The child arrived too early and lived for only a few hours. She had been young, unmarried, and alone. Her mother arranged the burial while Amara remained sedated. She had spent years blaming herself. Daniel knew that story. She had told him before their wedding. Why did Victor mention that hospital? She asked. Daniel covered his face. Because your baby did not die the way you were told. The room tilted. Amara gripped the bed rail. What did you say? Daniel looked at her with tears in his eyes. Your mother was told the baby died, but the hospital records were changed. No. Amara, no! She tore the monitoring wires from her chest. Daniel tried to calm her, but she shoved him away. My mother held a funeral. There was no body in that coffin. Amara screamed. A nurse and 2 attendants rushed inside. Daniel backed away as they tried to stop Amara from pulling out her IV. Jonah, she cried. Is Jonah my son? Daniel opened his mouth. Before he could answer, a woman appeared in the doorway. She was elegant, trembling, and holding the hand of the teenage boy from the clinic. Jonah stared at Amara. The woman looked at Daniel. You promised, she whispered. You promised she would never know. Jonah pulled his hand away from her. Know what? Nobody answered. Then Jonah looked directly at Amara. Why does everyone keep saying I have her blood? Amara left the hospital against medical advice. Her ankle was wrapped, her head throbbed, and Daniel followed her into the parking lot, begging her to return inside. She did not stop. Take me to Nia. Amara, you are not thinking clearly. My dead child may be alive, and my living child is somewhere I cannot see. Take me to her. Daniel finally drove her home. The house was silent when they entered. Nia, Amara called. No answer. She climbed the stairs, gripping the railing through the pain. Nia's bedroom door was open. The bed was empty. Her school bag was gone. So were several clothes. Amara turned toward Daniel. You said she was with your mother. She was. Then why are her things missing? Daniel checked his phone. His face changed. Mother took her to the lake house. Without asking me, she thought it would be safer. Safer from whom? Daniel did not answer. Amara pushed past him and entered his office. She opened drawers and threw files onto the floor. What are you looking for? He demanded. The truth. He grabbed her arm. Amara slapped his hand away. Touch me again, and I will scream loud enough for every neighbor to hear. Daniel stepped back. Inside the bottom drawer, Amara found a folder marked with the date of the upcoming banquet. There were photographs of her entering restaurants, eating at family events, and struggling to climb stairs. Under the photographs was a typed speech. Daniel's speech. Amara read the opening line aloud. Some burdens must be publicly released before they destroy the future. Her hands began to shake. Beside the speech was a seating chart. Her name had been circled in red. Chair 18. The same chair that would later collapse beneath her. You planned something at the banquet, she said. Daniel looked toward the office door. Not what you think. Stop saying that. A phone vibrated inside the desk. Amara opened another drawer and found a small prepaid phone. One unread message glowed on the screen. The chair is ready. After she falls, play the video. Amara's stomach turned. What video? Daniel lunged for the phone. Amara moved back and opened the attached file. The video showed her inside her bedroom, changing clothes. She had no idea she was being recorded. The footage zoomed in on her body. Cruel captions had been added across the screen. At the end, the company logo appeared beside the words, "Even love has a weight limit." Amara dropped the phone. Daniel looked horrified. I did not make that. But it was in your desk. I swear to you. A loud crash came from upstairs. Both of them froze. Amara grabbed a heavy lamp from the desk and moved toward the staircase. Nia, she called. A floorboard creaked above them. Daniel picked up a fireplace poker. They climbed slowly. When they reached Nia's bedroom, the curtains were moving beside an open window. On the floor lay Nia's favorite bracelet. Beside it was a note. Amara picked it up. Bring the original ownership papers to the banquet. Come alone if you want your daughter back. Amara turned toward Daniel. His face had gone white. Only 3 people knew those papers existed, he whispered. Who? Daniel looked toward the open window. Me, Victor. He swallowed. And your mother? Amara nearly dropped the note. My mother, she whispered. She would never hurt Nia. Daniel reached for his car keys. We need to check her house. No police. If Victor is involved, he has people inside the police department. Amara wanted to argue, but every second felt dangerous. They drove through the night. Rainwater flashed beneath the headlights as Daniel sped across town. Amara kept calling her mother, Grace, but every call went unanswered. When they reached the small brick house, the front door was open. Mother, Amara shouted. Daniel motioned for her to stay behind him. He entered with the fireplace poker raised. The living room had been torn apart. Cushions lay open. Family photographs were smashed. A dark stain marked the carpet. Mother! Amara rushed toward the bedroom. Grace was gone. On the bed rested an old metal box Amara had never seen before. Its lock had been broken. Inside were hospital documents, a baby bracelet, and a newspaper clipping from 14 years earlier. Amara picked up the bracelet. Baby boy Okafor. Okafor was Amara's maiden name. Beneath it lay a photograph of Grace holding a newborn baby. Grace was crying, but the child in her arms was alive. On the back, she had written, Forgive me, Amara. I believed I was saving him. Amara's legs weakened. Daniel caught her before she fell. She held him. Amara said, My mother held my son and told me he was dead. A small voice recorder rested at the bottom of the box. Amara pressed the button. Grace's trembling voice filled the room. If you are hearing this, they have finally come for the papers. Amara, I did not sell your child. A doctor told me your baby needed surgery that we could not afford. A wealthy couple offered to pay if I allowed them to become his legal guardians. I refused. Then the doctor said the baby died. Grace began sobbing on the recording. 2 days later, I saw the same doctor carrying your baby through a private exit. I followed him, but Daniel's father stopped me. Amara looked at Daniel. His face emptied of color. The recording continued. Daniel's father gave me money and threatened to have you arrested for abandoning your child. I used part of that money to help Daniel open his first restaurant because he promised he would find your son. I did not know he already knew where the child was. Amara slowly turned toward her husband. You knew. Daniel stepped back. I was trying to protect Jonah. From whom? A floorboard creaked behind them. A masked person rushed from the hallway and struck Daniel across the head. Daniel fell. Amara screamed and swung the metal box. It struck the attacker's shoulder. The mask slipped just enough for Amara to see a woman's face. It was Jonah's guardian from the clinic. She grabbed the ownership papers from the bed. Where is my daughter? Amara shouted. The woman ran toward the back door. Amara chased her into the yard, but a car was already waiting. Before climbing inside, the woman turned. Your daughter is alive, she said. But she will not remain that way if Jonah learns who you are. The car sped away. Behind Amara, Daniel groaned. Then Grace's recorder played one final sentence. Amara, the woman raising your son is not his protector. She is the person who bought him. Daniel woke with blood running down his temple. Amara wanted to leave him there. Instead, she helped him into the car because he knew the location of the lake house. You will tell me everything while we drive, she said. Daniel pressed a towel against his wound. The woman raising Jonah was Miriam Cole. Her husband had once been the largest investor in Daniel's father's hospital. They had tried for years to have a child. Your father sold my baby to them. Daniel looked down. Yes. The word cut deeper than any insult he had ever given her. And you married me because of Jonah. At first, I approached you because my father asked me to watch you. Amara stared straight ahead. He was afraid your mother had evidence. But then I fell in love with you. You do not humiliate someone you love. Daniel closed his eyes. No, you do not. He admitted that he had planned to announce the divorce at the banquet. Victor had convinced him that removing Amara publicly would protect the company from an investigation. But I never agreed to break the chair or show that video, Daniel said. Victor wanted you emotionally destroyed so you would sign away your ownership without reading the papers. Amara laughed bitterly. And you thought public divorce was kinder? Daniel had no answer. They reached the lake house just before dawn. The front door was locked. Daniel broke a window and climbed inside. Amara followed despite the pain in her ankle. Nia, she shouted. A muffled cry came from the basement. They rushed downstairs. Grace sat tied to a chair. Nia was beside her, her wrists bound with rope. Mommy! Amara ran to her daughter and cut the rope with a broken piece of glass. Nia wrapped both arms around her. I knew you would come. Grace's face was bruised. I am sorry, she whispered. Amara looked at her mother, torn between rage and relief. Why did you lie to me? I thought Jonah was dead until 3 years ago. When I discovered he was alive, Daniel begged me to remain silent. He said Miriam would disappear with him. Daniel stood at the foot of the stairs. That was true. A slow clap came from above. Victor appeared with 2 armed men. Beautiful, he said. The entire broken family in one room. Daniel moved in front of Amara and Nia. Victor raised a gun. Do not pretend to be brave now, brother. You brought them here. Daniel turned. What are you talking about? Victor smiled at Amara. The note in Nia's room was written on Daniel's stationery. The prepaid phone was in Daniel's desk, and Daniel knew exactly where to find you. Amara's grip tightened around Nia. Daniel looked at Victor with disbelief. You told me mother brought Nia here. I told you what you needed to hear. Victor's men seized Daniel. Victor stepped closer to Amara. The original papers make you the controlling owner of the company. Your recipes, your mother's money, and the first property were all placed in your name. Daniel and I spent years hiding that. He held out a pen. Sign the transfer, and everyone leaves alive. Amara looked at the document. Then she saw Nia quietly reaching toward the emergency switch for the lake house alarm. Victor noticed too. He aimed the gun at her. Amara threw herself in front of her daughter as the gun fired. The sound shook the basement. Amara waited for pain. It never came. Daniel collapsed in front of her. Blood spread across his white shirt. He had broken free from Victor's men and stepped into the bullet. Daddy, Nia screamed. Daniel fell against Amara. She lowered him to the floor, pressing both hands over the wound. Why? She cried. Daniel struggled to breathe. Because I should have protected you years ago. Victor stared at his brother, stunned. You fool. Nia slammed her palm against the emergency switch. A siren exploded through the house. Red lights flashed along the basement walls. Victor's men panicked. One ran upstairs. The other reached for Nia, but Grace swung the wooden chair with her bound hands and struck him in the knees. He fell, and Amara kicked his gun across the floor. Victor grabbed Nia by the collar and pulled her against him. Turn off the alarm. Let her go, Amara shouted. Victor pressed his gun against Nia's head. Daniel, barely conscious, reached for the weapon on the floor. Victor saw him. Do not move. Grace stepped forward. I have the papers. Everyone turned. She held a folded document she had hidden beneath her dress. The papers Miriam took were copies. Grace said, These are the originals. Victor's eyes filled with greed. Give them to me. Grace moved toward the fireplace at the far end of the basement. Release Nia first. Victor pushed Nia away. The child ran into Amara's arms. Grace immediately threw the documents into the fire. No, Victor screamed. He rushed toward the flames. Daniel grabbed the fallen gun and fired into the ceiling. Victor froze. Sirens approached outside. Amara looked down at Daniel. His breathing was weakening. Stay with me, she begged. He pressed a small key into her palm. Safe deposit box, he whispered. Everything is there. Jonah's real records. The company accounts. Proof against my father. Why did you not give me this before? Because the truth would prove I helped them. Amara began to cry. Daniel had saved Nia, but his sacrifice could not erase 14 years of lies. Victor suddenly pulled a burning document from the fireplace and ran upstairs. Police officers stormed through the front entrance. Victor fired toward them and escaped through a side window. Paramedics rushed to Daniel. As they lifted him onto a stretcher, Amara received a video call from Jonah's phone. Miriam appeared on the screen. Jonah was tied to a chair behind her. You destroyed my family, Miriam said. You stole mine, Amara replied. Miriam placed a hand on Jonah's shoulder. If you come to the banquet and publicly declare that Jonah is not your son, I will release him. And if I refuse? Miriam lifted a syringe. Then by the time you prove the truth, there will be no son left to claim. The call ended. Nia buried her face against Amara's chest. Grace began praying. Amara looked at the key Daniel had given her. The banquet was no longer just a place where she would be humiliated. It was where she would have to save one child without losing the other. Daniel was taken into surgery before sunrise. Amara stood outside the operating room, with blood dried across her hands. Nia slept against Grace's shoulder. Every few minutes, Amara looked at the red light above the doors and wondered how a man could wound her for years, then step in front of a bullet for their child. Love had not disappeared, but trust had, and Amara finally understood that the two were not the same thing. She left Nia with Grace and drove to the bank using Daniel's key. Inside the safe deposit box, she found no money. There were medical records, adoption papers, old photographs, and a small cassette labeled, "For Amara. If I fail." She placed the cassette into an old player provided by the bank. Daniel's voice filled the private room. Amara, if you are hearing this, I was too weak to tell you the truth while looking into your eyes. He explained that Jonah was not the baby Amara lost. Amara stopped the tape. Her hands began trembling. She pressed play again. Your son truly died at St. Matthew's Hospital. Jonah was born 2 weeks later to my sister, Rebecca. Amara stared at the wall. Daniel had never spoken of a sister. Rebecca had discovered that their father was selling babies through illegal adoptions. She collected evidence and planned to expose him. Before she could, she died in what the family called a car accident. Daniel believed she had been murdered. Miriam took Rebecca's newborn son and raised him as her own. Daniel stayed close to Amara because Grace possessed a photograph connecting his father to the hospital scheme. Later, he married Amara and used her company to move money secretly toward Jonah's medical care. Daniel's voice cracked on the recording. I told myself every lie was protecting someone. The truth is, I became like my father. I used people and called it protection. Amara covered her mouth. Jonah was Daniel's nephew, but the medical center had told Jonah that he shared blood with Amara. Why? She opened the final folder. Inside was a DNA report. The first page showed no maternal relationship between Amara and Jonah. The second page revealed something else. Jonah's kidneys were failing. He needed a transplant. Amara was a rare match. Miriam had not brought Jonah to the clinic for ordinary treatment. She had been testing Amara's discarded medical samples for years, hoping to use her as a donor without telling her the truth. A bank employee knocked urgently. Mrs. Williams, there are 2 men asking for you downstairs. Amara gathered the documents. Did they give names? No. A fire alarm suddenly screamed through the building. Smoke began pouring beneath the door. Amara looked toward the only exit. Someone was setting the bank on fire to destroy the evidence. She wrapped the folders beneath her dress, grabbed a metal chair, and smashed the small window beside the room. 3 floors below, people were running into the street. Amara climbed onto the ledge. For years, fear had kept her trapped in a marriage. Now fear would have to watch her jump. Amara landed on the canvas roof of a delivery truck. Pain exploded through her injured ankle, but she held tightly to the documents. The driver screamed when she rolled onto the pavement. Behind her, smoke poured from the bank windows. 2 men rushed through the side exit. Amara recognized one of them from the lake house. She limped into a crowded market, pushing between shoppers as the men followed. She overturned a fruit stand behind her. Oranges rolled beneath their feet, sending one man crashing into a metal table. The second caught Amara near an alley. He grabbed her shoulder. Amara swung the cassette player into his face and ran. A motorcycle suddenly stopped beside her. "Get on!" Lena shouted. Amara stared at her. Lena had a bandage across her forehead, but she was alive. They sped away as the man reached for them. "You disappeared from the hospital," Amara shouted over the engine. "Victor's people came looking for me." "Where is Jonah?" "I found Miriam's location." Lena drove them to an abandoned church outside the city. Inside, candles burned around the altar. Jonah sat alone on the front pew. He was not tired. He was waiting. Amara stopped several feet away. Where is Miriam? Gone. Did she hurt you? Jonah laughed bitterly. You mean the woman who raised me, or the family that lied about everything? Amara approached carefully. Daniel is your uncle. Jonah's eyes filled with tears. He told me he was my father. Amara froze. Who told you that? Miriam. She said Daniel abandoned us because he was ashamed of me. Jonah stood. She also said you ruined his life. She said if I did not help her at the banquet, Daniel would let me die. Help her do what? Jonah removed a small device from his pocket. It was a remote control. She wants me to play a video after you sit down. Amara remembered the hidden footage found in Daniel's desk. Where is she keeping the syringe? Jonah looked away. She was not going to kill me. She threatened to. No, the syringe contained medicine. Then why did she show it like a weapon? Because she knew you would come. Jonah's face twisted with anger. You all think I am some helpless child. Nobody asked what I wanted. What do you want? I want the truth spoken in public. Amara stepped closer. I can do that. No, Jonah said. You want to protect Nia. Daniel wants to protect himself. Miriam wants to protect the life she stole. Victor wants the company. Everyone protects something except me. He threw the remote onto the pew. I am the one dying. Amara's anger disappeared. She sat beside him. For the first time, she did not see Daniel's eyes. She saw a terrified boy. I may be able to help you, she whispered. Jonah looked at her. You are a match. His expression revealed that he already knew. Miriam said you would refuse after learning I was not your son. Amara took his hand. Blood does not decide whether a life is worth saving. Before Jonah could answer, every candle in the church went out. A woman's voice came from the darkness. That is exactly why you were always so easy to use, Amara. Miriam stepped from behind the altar, and she was holding Nia's missing bracelet. Miriam dropped Nia's bracelet onto the church floor. Your daughter is safe, she said. For now. Amara stood between her and Jonah. What do you want? The banquet will begin at 7. You will attend beside Daniel, smile for the cameras, and sign the ownership transfer after his speech. Daniel may not survive surgery. Miriam's face showed no concern. Then Victor will give the speech. Jonah stepped toward her. You lied to me. I kept you alive. You stole me. I loved you. Jonah's voice broke. Love does not require a child to live inside a lie. Miriam slapped him. Amara moved before she could think. She grabbed Miriam's wrist and twisted it behind her back. Miriam screamed. Lena rushed forward and took the gun from her handbag, but Miriam began laughing. You still do not understand, she said. I do not need to escape. Victor has Nia. Amara's phone rang. Victor appeared on video beside Nia, who sat inside a locked car. 7 o'clock, he said. Chair 18. Come without police. The call ended. At 6:45, Amara entered the banquet hall, wearing the cream-colored dress Daniel had chosen for her. Every camera turned toward her. Whispers followed her across the room. Is that Daniel's wife? She looks even bigger in person. Why would she wear that? Amara kept walking. Grace waited outside with the evidence. Lena had gone to rescue Nia, using the location hidden in Victor's video. Jonah wore a staff uniform and carried the remote inside his pocket. The plan was dangerous, but it was the only one they had. Victor greeted Amara near the stage as though nothing had happened. You came. I want my daughter. After the papers are signed. He guided her toward chair 18. Amara saw the fresh sawdust beneath it. The support beam had been cut. She already knew what would happen if she sat. Across the room, Jonah stood near the projector. Amara gave him a small nod. Victor leaned close. You spent your whole life believing kindness would save you, he whispered. Tonight, kindness will bury you. Amara lowered herself carefully. The chair cracked. She hit the floor. Food scattered across her dress. Guests gasped. And just as before, Daniel's voice rang through the room. I told you people, that chair was built for human beings, not a delivery truck. Amara looked up in shock. Daniel stood on the stage, pale, weak, and wearing a hospital band beneath his sleeve. He was alive, but he was laughing with Victor. Nia had told the truth. Her father had known the chair would break. Daniel raised the divorce papers. I have spent years carrying this marriage alone, he announced. Tonight, I am done carrying dead weight. Amara's heart shattered all over again. Then she saw his left hand. 2 fingers were crossed behind his back. It was the secret signal he and Nia had used whenever they were forced to pretend. Daniel was not humiliating her because he had chosen Victor. He was performing because Victor still had their daughter. Amara remained on the floor while the crowd laughed. Then Jonah pressed the remote. But instead of playing the cruel video Victor expected, the projector displayed hospital records, stolen adoption files, and company transfers across the giant screen. The laughter died instantly. Victor spun toward Jonah. What have you done? Amara slowly rose from the broken chair. Blood ran from her palm, but her voice did not shake. You wanted everyone to watch me fall, she said. She faced the crowd. Now they will watch your entire empire fall with me. The projector filled the wall with stolen adoption records, bank transfers, forged signatures, and photographs from St. Matthew's Hospital. Guests began reading the names aloud. Some belonged to powerful doctors, others belonged to judges, businessmen, and politicians sitting inside the hall. Victor's face changed. Turn it off, he shouted. Jonah stood beside the projector controls. No. Victor rushed toward him. Daniel stepped down from the stage and blocked his path. You have already hurt enough children. Victor punched him directly over his bullet wound. Daniel collapsed with a cry. Nia's name tore from Amara's throat as she ran toward them, but Victor grabbed the microphone stand and swung it at Jonah. Jonah ducked. The metal pole struck the projector screen, ripping it down the center. Yet the evidence continued playing on smaller television monitors around the hall. Phones rose everywhere. The banquet was being streamed live. Victor pulled the main electrical cable from the wall. Darkness swallowed the room. People screamed. Tables overturned. Glass shattered. Guests pushed toward the exits. But Jonah had already activated the building's emergency locks. Nobody could leave. In the darkness, Amara heard Victor moving toward her. You should have signed quietly, he whispered. His hand closed around her throat. Amara drove her knee into his stomach. Victor released her, and she struck him with the broken leg of chair 18. He fell against a table. Emergency lights flashed on. Daniel lay bleeding near the stage. Jonah stood beside him, holding the microphone stand like a weapon. Victor struggled to rise. Then a woman in the audience screamed, Look at the screen. A live video had replaced the documents. Nia sat inside a dark vehicle, with tape over her mouth. A digital clock beside her counted down from 8 minutes. Victor began laughing. If I do not enter a code before that clock reaches 0, the car doors lock permanently and the vehicle fills with smoke. Amara dropped the chair leg. Where is she? Sign the company over to me. Daniel forced himself onto one knee. Do not do it. Victor kicked him back down. Amara looked from the countdown to her daughter's terrified eyes. Bring the papers. Victor smiled, but before Amara could move, Daniel grabbed the microphone. There is something else everyone must know. Victor's smile disappeared. Daniel faced the cameras. My wife's signatures were forged, but mine were not. Amara stared at him. I approved transfers. Daniel continued. I hid evidence. I planned to divorce Amara publicly, so she would be too humiliated to challenge us. Murmurs spread across the room. Daniel looked at her. I did not cut the chair, but I helped build the cruelty that placed her in it. Victor lunged for him. Jonah struck Victor across the shoulder. Then Jonah suddenly dropped the microphone stand. His body shook. He reached for Amara before collapsing onto the floor. As Amara caught him, blood began running from his nose. His kidneys, Daniel whispered. He is crashing. The clock beside Nia showed 6 minutes. One child was dying in Amara's arms. The other was trapped somewhere inside a car. Lena called Amara's phone. I found Nia's signal, she said. An abandoned furniture warehouse near the river. Amara looked down at Jonah. Paramedics had entered the hall and were placing an oxygen mask over his face. Go, Daniel told her. I will stay with him. Amara hesitated. Daniel had betrayed her. But Jonah's life was now in his hands. If anything happens to that boy, I will protect him with what is left of my life. Amara ran. Lena met her outside on a motorcycle. They sped through the streets as rain began falling again. 3 minutes remained. The warehouse doors were chained shut. Amara grabbed the tire iron from Lena's motorcycle and struck the chain repeatedly until the lock broke. Inside, hundreds of old chairs were stacked to the ceiling. Nia! A muffled scream answered from the far end. They found the vehicle beneath a hanging work light. Smoke was already leaking from vents inside the doors. Nia kicked against the window. Amara pulled the handle. Locked. The timer showed 1 minute and 12 seconds. Move back! Lena shouted. She struck the window with the tire iron, but the reinforced glass did not break. Amara looked around. Beside the car was a large wooden chair with metal legs. She lifted it above her head and slammed it into the windshield. The glass cracked. Again. The timer reached 40 seconds. Amara screamed and struck harder. The windshield broke inward. She climbed through the opening, cutting both arms, and pulled Nia through the shattered glass. The timer reached 0. Nothing happened. The smoke stopped. A slow clap echoed through the warehouse. Victor stepped from between the chairs. There was never enough smoke to kill her, he said. I only needed you frightened enough to abandon the evidence. Police sirens sounded outside. Victor's expression tightened. Lena smiled. I shared the location before we entered. Victor grabbed a can of fuel and poured it across the floor. If I cannot own the company, nobody will. He struck a match. Before he could drop it, Miriam appeared behind him and hit his arm with a metal pipe. The match fell harmlessly onto the concrete. Victor turned and struck her across the face. Miriam collapsed. You betrayed me, he said. You were going to let Jonah die, she replied. He was evidence. Amara pulled Nia behind her. Victor grabbed the fuel can and threw it toward a space heater. Flames raced across the floor. The stacked chairs caught fire one after another. Lena dragged Miriam toward the exit. Amara carried Nia through the smoke, but a burning shelf crashed in front of them. They were trapped. Nia began coughing. Amara looked at the mountain of chairs surrounding them. The objects that had been used to mock her body were now blocking every escape. She lowered Nia onto the floor. Then Amara charged forward and pushed with all her strength. One stack fell, then another. A narrow path opened through the flames. Amara lifted her daughter and ran. Behind them, Victor screamed as the burning chairs collapsed around him. Firefighters pulled Victor from the warehouse alive. His hands and face were burned, but he was conscious enough to curse Amara while police placed him in an ambulance under guard. Amara did not answer him. She held Nia against her chest until they reached the hospital. Jonah had been moved into intensive care. A doctor met Amara outside the unit. His condition has worsened. We can stabilize him temporarily, but he needs a donor as soon as possible. Test me again. We already confirmed the match. Then take what he needs. Grace grabbed Amara's arm. You could be risking your own health. Amara looked through the glass at Jonah's motionless body. When my baby died, I would have given anything for one person to fight for him. Her voice broke. I will not stand here and watch another child die because the adults around him failed. Miriam sat in a wheelchair nearby, her face swollen from Victor's attack. You would save him after everything I did to you. Amara turned toward her. I am not doing it for you. Miriam began sobbing. I loved him. You loved being needed by him, Amara said. Real love would have given him the truth. Daniel appeared at the end of the hallway in a hospital gown, supported by 2 officers. Metal cuffs circled his wrists. Nia ran toward him, but stopped halfway. Are they taking you away? Daniel lowered himself painfully to his knees. Yes. For how long? I do not know. Nia began crying. Daniel opened his arms, but he did not force her to come closer. I helped people hurt your mother, he said. Saving you from one bullet does not erase that. Nia slowly stepped into his embrace. Amara watched them, fighting tears. Daniel looked up at her. I loved you, Amara. She walked closer. Perhaps part of you did. I can change. I hope you do. A fragile hope entered his eyes. Then Amara continued. But you will not change inside my home while I become the floor you practice standing on. Daniel lowered his head. Amara removed her wedding ring. She placed it in his cuffed hand. I forgive the man who took the bullet for our daughter, she said, but I am leaving the man who spent years teaching me to hate myself. The officers lifted Daniel to his feet. Before they led him away, he looked at the ring. I am sorry the chair had to break before I saw what I had become. Amara shook her head. The chair did not reveal my weakness, Daniel. She looked toward Jonah's room, then at Nia. It revealed yours. A nurse opened the operating room doors. Amara kissed Nia and walked forward. But just before the doors closed, an officer rushed down the hallway. Mrs. Williams, Amara turned. We searched Victor's home, he said. We found files on your husband. What kind of files? The officer looked toward Daniel. Proof that Victor did not arrange Rebecca's fatal accident. The hallway went silent. Daniel did. The operating room doors remained open. Amara stared at Daniel as the officer's words settled over the hallway. Daniel arranged Rebecca's accident. Nia slowly released her father's hand. Daniel did not deny it. His shoulders sank as if he had been waiting 14 years for that sentence. Tell them the whole truth, he said. The officer removed a recording device recovered from Victor's house. On it, Daniel's father ordered his sons to stop Rebecca from taking hospital records to the authorities. Victor refused. Daniel obeyed. I cut the brake line, Daniel whispered. Grace covered her mouth. Daniel's voice shook as he continued. My father said the car would be found before Rebecca used it. He only wanted to frighten her. I believed him because believing him was easier than admitting what kind of man he was. But she drove it, Amara said. Daniel nodded. She called me from the road. She said the brakes were gone. His knees gave way. The officers caught him before he struck the floor. I heard her screaming, he said. Then the call ended. Nia began sobbing. Daniel looked at Jonah through the glass. I let Miriam take him because I thought he would be safer away from us. Every payment, every secret, every lie, I told myself I was making up for Rebecca. You cannot repair one life by destroying another, Amara said. I know. No, Daniel. You only know now because the truth has finally cost you something. The doctor stepped forward. Mrs. Williams, we need to proceed. Amara looked at Jonah. His chest rose weakly beneath the hospital blanket. Then she looked at Daniel. Why did you marry me? At first, because father ordered me to stay close to Grace. And later, Daniel's face crumpled. Because you were the first good thing I had ever touched. Amara's eyes filled with tears. And instead of becoming good beside me, you tried to make me feel as broken as you were. Daniel lowered his head. I am guilty. The officers prepared to take him away. Nia stood between them. Daddy, did you mean all those things you said about Mommy's body? Daniel looked at his daughter. I said them because humiliating her made me feel powerful, but every word was a lie. He turned toward Amara. Your mother was always stronger than me. Amara knelt before Nia. Your father has done terrible things, but you are allowed to love him and still know that what he did was wrong. Nia nodded through her tears. Daniel was led toward the elevator. Amara watched until the doors closed. Then she entered the operating room. As the doctors prepared her, she thought about the broken chair, the laughter, and every cruel word she had carried inside herself. For years, Daniel had convinced her that her body was a burden. Now that same body was about to save a life. The anesthesia mask lowered over her face. Amara closed her eyes, and for the first time, she did not ask whether she was small enough, beautiful enough, or worthy enough. She already knew the answer. The surgery lasted 6 hours. Nia waited with Grace, Lena, and Miriam in the silent hospital corridor. When the surgeon finally appeared, everyone stood. Jonah's new kidney is functioning. Grace cried out in relief. And Amara? Nia asked. She is stable. Nia ran into her grandmother's arms. Miriam sank into her wheelchair, weeping. But when she tried to enter Jonah's room, a police officer stopped her. You are under arrest for kidnapping, unlawful confinement, and conspiracy. Miriam looked through the glass at the boy she had raised. Please let me speak to him. Jonah had awakened. He turned his face away. Miriam began crying harder. I gave you everything. Jonah looked back at her. You gave me a home, he said weakly. But you also gave me fear. I will be grateful for the love that was real, but I cannot pretend the lies did not hurt me. Miriam reached toward the glass. I am your mother. Jonah's eyes filled with tears. A mother is supposed to help her child become free. The officers wheeled Miriam away. 2 weeks later, Amara returned home with Nia. She walked slowly, but she walked without hiding. Videos from the banquet had spread across the country. Millions had watched Daniel mock her. Millions had also watched her rise from the broken chair and expose the truth. Some strangers praised her courage. Others still mocked her weight. Amara read 3 cruel comments before closing the computer. Nia sat beside her. Does it hurt? Yes, Amara answered honestly. I thought strong people didn't care what anyone said. Strong people care. They simply stop allowing cruel people to decide who they are. The investigation closed Daniel's restaurants. Victor survived the warehouse fire and was charged with kidnapping, attempted murder, fraud, and conspiracy. Daniel pleaded guilty to Rebecca's death, financial crimes, and helping conceal illegal adoptions. He refused to blame Victor or his father. Before sentencing, Daniel asked Amara to visit him. She almost refused. Then she remembered that forgiveness was not a gift given to an offender. Sometimes it was a door a wounded person opened for themselves. Daniel entered the prison visiting room, thinner and quieter than before. I watched the banquet video, he said. I cannot believe that man was me. He was you. Daniel nodded. Do you hate me? Amara thought carefully. No. Hope appeared in his eyes. But I do not trust you, and I will never return to you. The hope disappeared, but Daniel did not argue. I understand. No, Amara said. You are beginning to. He looked down at his hands. Will Nia ever forgive me? That decision belongs to her. Your job is not to demand forgiveness. Your job is to become someone worthy of it, even if it never comes. Daniel began to cry. Before leaving, Amara placed a photograph on the table. It showed Jonah standing beside Nia after leaving the hospital. Daniel touched the picture. Thank you for saving him. Amara stood. I did not save him for you. As she walked away, Daniel called her name. You rose after everything we did. Amara turned. No, Daniel. She held his gaze. I rose because I finally stopped waiting for the people who broke me to help me stand. 1 year later, Amara opened the doors of the Rising Table, a bakery and training center for women, rebuilding their lives after abuse, abandonment, and public humiliation. The first item placed inside was the broken chair from the banquet. Its damaged support beam remained visible beneath the seat. Above it hung a golden sign. This chair was weakened before she sat down. So was her marriage. Only one deserved to be repaired. Customers stopped to read the message. Some cried. Others quietly shared their own stories. Amara did not become thin overnight. She did not transform herself to earn anyone's respect. She worked with doctors to care for her health, but she refused to treat her body as punishment. Her greatest transformation was not physical. She stopped apologizing for taking up space. Jonah worked at the bakery after school. He and Nia argued like siblings, laughed like old friends, and slowly created the family the adults around them had nearly destroyed. Grace volunteered at the center. She could never undo the lie she had told, but she spent every day helping other women speak before fear silenced them. Lena became the financial director. On the bakery's first anniversary, Amara hosted a community dinner. The hall was filled with survivors, doctors, lawyers, and families reunited through the hospital investigation. Before Amara's speech, a waiter brought a large wooden chair to the stage. The audience became silent. Nia walked beside it. This chair was specially made for my mother, she announced proudly. Amara examined it. The frame was wide, polished, and reinforced with strong metal supports. A small silver plate was attached to the back. For the woman who taught us that dignity has no size. The audience stood and applauded. Amara sat down. The chair did not move. Nia placed the microphone in her hand. Amara looked across the room. 1 year ago, people laughed when a chair broke beneath me, she began. But the chair was not the most painful thing that broke that night. My trust broke. My marriage broke. The life I thought I had broke. She paused. But something else broke too. The room became still. My silence. Applause thundered through the hall. Amara raised one hand. Never confuse forgiveness with permission. You can release anger without returning to the person who harmed you. You can understand someone's wounds without allowing them to wound you. And you can love a person while still choosing to leave them. Nia took her mother's hand. Amara smiled. A person's body should never become entertainment. A spouse should never use private weakness as a public weapon. Real love does not laugh when you fall. Real love bends down, protects your dignity, and helps you rise. After the dinner, Amara found a letter beneath the broken chair. It was from Daniel. He wrote that he did not expect an answer. He was attending counseling in prison and helping investigators locate children separated from their birth families. The final line read, "I once believed the strongest person was the one who controlled the room. Now I know it is the person who can leave cruelty behind without becoming cruel." Amara folded the letter. She did not cry. She did not write back. She walked outside, where Nia and Jonah were waiting beneath the evening lights. As they moved toward her, Amara looked once more at the broken chair through the bakery window. The world had once used it to measure her weight. But chairs could only measure what a body placed upon them. They could never measure courage. They could never measure kindness. And they could never measure the worth of a woman who had finally learned to stand.